Hello, students and parents of Crosslands Taekwondo. This is Joe Lanning here. I just wanted to give you a little talk about the upcoming breaking tournament and why I feel it's very important for you guys to go if you guys can. I'm doing this less as an instructor of the class and more as a friend from the class. But let me talk just a little bit briefly about it. I've been ranting a lot about this breaking tournament before the break, after the break. I've been posting on it on Facebook every chance I can. So if you can't tell, I really think it's important that you get to go to this tournament. In fact, I would go as far as to say if you have one martial art event to go to in a year and you can only do one, I would really recommend this breaking tournament, and I'll get to why later. First off, what's the whole point of going to any type of martial art event outside of class? Well, we want to teach you as instructors, we want to teach you as much as we can about martial arts. And the way that you learn martial arts is through experience. We can't provide enough experience opportunities with only 2 hours a week at the YMCA. It's just not enough time to give you enough experience to really learn martial arts in a broad sense. Okay, you only get to experience what little bits we can with the little bit of time that we have. Not saying it's not a lot, and I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying it's not everything that you can. So, tournaments to me provide a great way of learning more about yourself, which to me is part of martial arts in general. In my opinion, martial arts in the modern world are about learning what you can do, what you can't do yet, and what you can do with sufficient time and training. Okay? So, and tournaments provide a great way to not only learn more, but also to test what you have learned. Okay? Let's talk about some reasons why not to go to a tournament. For one thing, tournaments are very expensive. I'll just start with that one right off the bat. Tournaments have always been expensive, and this is coming from somebody who's always paid for his tournaments out of pocket with money he's earned from his job. So, I know that they're very expensive. However, there are ways around this. As a class, we could potentially do some things like fundraisers. We could do things like get sponsors. There are ways around the money obstacle for tournaments. And I think with proper planning, preparation, and commitment, we could eliminate money as an issue and as an excuse not to go to tournaments in the future. Let's put a pin in that and let's do that as we move forward in the class. So let's set aside the money thing and let's talk about time. Tournaments usually do take up a lot of a Saturday or Sunday or whatever day they're held on. They do take up a lot of time. So can you make it for, let's say, an hour just to watch? If the answer is no, I understand. Life is busy, and maybe this is scheduled on a day that you've got something else you got to do. In fact, there happens to be another martial art tournament that day that also, if you're going to go to a tournament, I recommend that tournament as well. It's a good tournament put on by good people. That's Achievement Martial Arts in Portage, by the way. If you can go for an hour, do you think maybe there's a way that you could go for more? Could you maybe put off some plans that you had for Saturday on to Sunday or later in Saturday or next Saturday? Because really, here's the whole thing for me. The more time that you spend at this tournament, the better, or the more you're going to gain from the effort that you put into that. And if more equals 1 hour as opposed to no hours, great. Go for that 1 hour. I promise it'll be worth it. Okay? If you feel like you can stretch that out to a few more hours or maybe even the whole event, all the better. Okay? But really, I recommend that you go down and check this tournament out if you can't tell. Okay? The last reason that I could really come up with is to not do a tournament is because it's something that you're not familiar with. It's not part of your comfort zone. And to me, martial arts is really a great way of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And it's going to become a very important skill as you move forward in life. You stepped outside of your comfort zone already when you came into class. Did you come into class already knowing how to do the things that we taught? Already comfortable and confident in yourself that you can pass your rank testings and break boards and so forth? I don't think so. It was something you were nervous about. It was something I was nervous about when I started. So you've already taken that step outside of your comfort zone. But now you're probably at a stage where Taekwondo class is a part of your comfort zone again. It's now within that expanded bubble. And what I'm asking you to do is take another step outside of your comfort zone. Again, this is a really important life skill. I'll briefly mention instructor Diane Rich, who went off to college for many, many years. And that was her stepping outside of her comfort zone. She was not comfortable going to those classes and taking those tests and speaking in front of people and that whole college experience. But the more that she did it, okay, the more that she paid off, and she became a valedictorian. If you don't know the meaning of that word, look it up. Ask your parents, but look it up yourself. Valedictorian. See what it means and see what it means that she got that. Okay, to me, that's her black belt being applied to the rest of her life. I can tell you that my personal experience stepping outside of my comfort zone, I did it a lot through martial arts, by going to tournaments, by going to seminars, by going to clinics, and I had to apply it outside of my life. Right now, I work for the Indiana Toll Road, and I have to step outside my comfort zone and do things that I don't know how to do and learn things that I don't know what they are. But I have to do that in order to not only keep my job, but also to make myself better at my job. Okay, so that's something that you'll face later on in life. So stepping outside your comfort zone is a good thing to do. It's a good habit to get into while you're young. So, and going to this kind of a tournament, going to this type of event is a great way to start that off. If you're not comfortable with doing it now, get comfortable with it. Okay? Don't look back on your life and say, I wished I'd done that. Okay? Let me give you one more example of what not to do. If you're a martial artist, you're probably familiar with the Power Rangers. And when I was a young kid, and I lived in Denver, Colorado, I was every 6 months sent a card from a local karate school saying, come meet and take karate lessons from the Green Power Ranger. For those of you who don't know, when I was a kid, the Green Power Ranger was Tommy, played by Jason David Frank. And every 6 months, he was giving private lessons at this karate dojo in the city I was living in. And every 6 months, when I got that card, I would say, I'll do it next time. I'll do it next time. And before I knew it, I was moved to Indiana, and I didn't get that opportunity again. So if you get the opportunity to go to this breaking tournament, I promise it'll be worth it, because you get to meet a lot of really cool people. You get to see a lot of really cool things. And if you compete, you'll gain a lot of really good experience for it. And if you ever get a chance to meet the Power Rangers, do it. Because if you don't, you'll regret it. Take it from me. All right, all the best. I'll see you guys in class, and hope to see you next Saturday at the tournament.